Hey guys, welcome to one of the first episodes of Beyond the Balls. And we're talking about sponge magic and being original and unique with your sponge routines. In these episodes of Beyond the Balls, I'm going to be sharing some, rough ideas, throwing out some inspiration that you can take and build your own original sponge routines around. I'm tired of seeing the same sponge routines over and over. There's nothing that screams magic more than a 2-inch red sponge ball. It's time for us to start experimenting with different colors, different shapes, different routines. And in the opening video, I introduced the idea of a sponge cherry. Why not make cherries out of your 1-inch sponge balls and share that a routine with sponge cherries instead of just a sponge ball? You know, be original, make it your own. And a new idea I want to share with you today: Planters re-released their cheese balls recently, and these things are delicious. Actually, you could do an entire routine with sponge balls, 1-inch orange sponge balls. Use the can. You could put a false bottom in this, show it empty, and then produce a bunch of these from the cheese balls can. You could just do the balls from mouth with the cheese balls. That's something that makes sense to put in your mouth, especially if you're working with kids. Sword swallowing isn't a good idea with kids, but you got to be conscious of what you're putting in your mouth in front of kids, because they're going to try to copy what you do. But there's an idea: cheese balls. Another thing I found this at Cracker Barrel, but you could probably find something similar at any toy store like Walmart or even online. It's a tiny cage that you could carry a sponge ball in. And this is one of my sponge eggs. So it's, you could call it a dinosaur egg. And you brought it in this cage or whatever. But imagine starting off your routine by bringing it out of the little cage, doing a routine, it vanishes, and then you go back and it's reappeared inside the cage. So you come full circle, kind of a bookend concept. But this, okay, now I remember what this was. Feisty Pets. This was a miniature little Feisty Pet, and it came in a little cage. So that's the brand and what to look for if you want to try to find this exact cage. Something else I want to share with you. Let's see. This. Imagine in the middle of your sponge routine, you've personified your sponges a little bit. You give them a little bit of personality, some spunk. Now they take on a life of their own. And I want to call my sponge to come out of a top hat, out of a container, a box. In this case, the cheese balls container. All I have to do is whistle, snap my fingers. There he is. And the sponge ball comes flying out. That's kind of cool, right? All that is a gun. Now I've cut the handle off, but you can kind of picture where the handle would have been, right here. And this is basically one of those ice cream poppers, joke ice cream poppers, where the ice cream flies off the end and bops somebody on the nose. Well, Dollar Tree sells a little gun where there's a string attached to a sponge ball that flies off. It's not a nice quality Goshman sponge, so you'll have to replace that with whatever sponge balls you're using or sponge gimmick you want to fly out. But that just gets stuck into a sponge ball, and then slid on there. That goes into the container. I've cut a hole in the back, so I just stick my thumb in, push the lever, and bam, there he goes, straight across the room. But that is an idea. You could actually sew that gimmick into a handkerchief or anything else that you want to fly out of a box or container. But I see we're at the 5-minute mark, so I'm going to cut this video here. I have more Beyond the Balls ideas to come. I hope you keep watching these, keep sharing your ideas, inspiration. If you're liking these videos, let me know so that I keep making them. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to other things. Anyway, thanks for watching, and please share this with your friends. Thanks.